So Matt, you're a big golf guy. You were telling us you covered the Masters like 9 times. So
9 times.
yeah, that's really cool, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So what's your favorite thing about, covering the Masters, and do you have a good story from Augusta?
Man, I've got so many good stories. I've been blessed to be in some pretty awesome positions down there, working with CBS Sports, and I think my favorite thing is just the ambiance of being there. Like every time I'll go out there, I've worked several different shifts. I've worked at different times of the day, but I'll always try and go find some time to go out there, go to the snack stand, spend $5 and get my entire lunch, and then go sit under a pine tree down at Amen Corner, go sit in the bleachers at 15 or something like that, and just taking in the ambiance of the tournament and the buzz. And it's just a really, really cool place, and it's hard to do it justice talking about it and even seeing it on TV, because you go out there and you just kind of just being in the moment, and there's no cell phones, which is incredible. No cell phones allowed. So you just go out there, no one can get a hold of you. You're away, you're watching golf, and you're focused on that 100%, and just the beautiful scenery around you. I mean, in April, typically the azaleas are in bloom, and everything just looks perfect. There's not a blade of grass out of place. There's not a piece of trash on the ground. They take a lot of pride in that. So just being out there and soaking it all in is one of my favorite things to do. And the other thing, probably one of my favorite memories, working with CBS, I've got a ton, but the Butler Cabin ceremony that they do, some might call it the most awkward television there is, but I think it's still really neat to me, and what I would help block that ceremony out. So on Thursday morning, and then again on Sunday morning, me and 3 buddies would go to Butler Cabin, and Jim Nantz would be there, and Billy Payne would be there.
Did you ever get to wear the green jacket?
No, I did. They had me mock it. They had me wear Jim's, or I don't think it was Jim's, but it was one of the CBS blue blazers. So
okay.
I put the blue. I've done it. I've done it several times, and so I've been the past champion. I've been the low amateur. I've been the champion, and so I've played a lot of different roles. And Jim Nantz would interview me as if we just won the Masters, and sometimes it was, if there was a more serious tone in there, depending on who was in there, and he'd ask me golf questions, but there would be other times where he'd ask people, he'd be like, so Carter, when you go to In-N-Out, what's your go-to order? And just a Jim Nantz tone. And, I think this was like three or 4 years in a row that I'd done it. And I walked in and I shook Jim's hand as, like we used to do in the world, shake people's hands. And he looked at me, he goes, wow, back here once again, and an unprecedented run at Augusta National. And I was like, this can't get, I somehow went from past champion to new champion to low amateur. So I've played a lot of roles. So that definitely was, those were some fun times mocking up. And I've got a DVD somewhere. I got to go find it. But the DVD was when I was the past champion. And as you know, the past champion does not say anything. So I was kind of there on my hands with my blue CBS blazer on my lap.
That's very cool. Very cool. Well, you have a good reason for missing this year, which tell us what that is.
So my wife and I are expecting our first child, little girl. My wife's 38 weeks. So we're just kind of at this point where I got my bags packed, and I'm tethered to the house. So there's a radius where I can leave. So I'm not even going too far out to shoot high school football games these days, because I got to be ready for the bat signal.
Yeah, well, that's
awesome, man.
That's yes, congratulations, and that's awesome. And I'm sure your wife will at least let you watch, Augusta on the high def TV there. So
yeah, right, yeah. Well, I was joking when they told us the due date originally. I was like, well, if it's my daughter, I bet she's gonna want to try to get out here and see a November Masters just to see what that looks like.
That's funny. Well,
hey, Brice,
go
I
ahead.
wanted to add something. I'm not a huge golf fan, but if there's a guy who will skip the ball 5 times across the water and make the shot, I would watch every round of every tournament.
I think one of the tweets this week was, "Do it on Sunday, you coward."
Well played. Well played.
Yeah.
Well, in honor of the Masters, in honor of Matt being here, I will just close by saying goodbye, friends.